get going. Okay, guys, welcome to this video here. So I've got a very special interview actually here with Justin James Grabko. And what I wanted to actually do in today's session is I wanted to just kind of pull Justin aside. He's a very busy guy. And, I wanted to actually, talk about some of the things Justin's achieved and really ask him some questions as to really how he's achieved it, and hopefully he can give you some good strategies to help you out in your business. So Justin is an online marketer from Wisconsin, and how long is it you've been marketing online, Justin? Because it's not been that long, has it really?
Well, I've only been online marketing seriously for a couple of years, and just to let you know that I still do the online marketing thing part-time. I still have a full-time job, but hopefully that won't be for long.
Cool. So and that's the other thing. So basically, here's the thing with Justin. We started with our community here, and within his first month, he actually hit over 5 figures. I think, what was the total? Was it the first 30 days? I believe it was something like $13,000. Is that right?
Yeah, it was 13,000 my first month.
Wow.
In Black Ops, yes.
Awesome. And that's all, pure profit. A lot of the strategies we share, in fact, pretty much all of them are all, free strategies. You don't need any complex things you have to do. And also, a lot of people, they put up these big numbers, and, but often what they don't tell you is they've spent half of that on traffic or outsourcing things. And so, you see all these big numbers, but when they've spent half it on advertising, it doesn't seem that impressive. So, and what Justin's been able to do, as he said, is achieve that part-time. He's a full-time engineer. He still works his full-time job, and he's still making at least a few $1,000s a month, if not more, consistently, which is really, really cool. So, and what was interesting was the fact that you do this part-time. A lot of people think, well, all these people making this big money, they must be at the computer all day, and that must be all they do their entire day. But obviously, not the case for you. So definitely talk about, I'd love for you to share, just to start off with some of the shifts you kind of made, because you said you first started online like a lot of people, trial and error, trying different things, nothing was working initially. So when you started getting results, I mean, what did you do differently compared to before, where, things weren't working and nothing was really happening, and results weren't really there initially?
Well, when I was starting in this industry, I was involved in a couple of affiliate programs in which I would have a little bit of making, a couple thousand here. Then all of a sudden, I'd had this real long dry spell. So when I gotten this consistent amount of income earning when I started it, and before I started, get my breakthrough at that $13,000 a month, the biggest thing what I did was basically becoming coachable, which means, you just surrender your pride, surrender your ego, get rid of everything that you learned, get rid of all your habits that you were accustomed to before this opportunity that I joined. And what you do is that you just plug in to the message that my mentor was telling me, and you just specifically just follow those instructions that he told you and what to do, and you go from there, and you religiously just get into that mindset shift, saying, hey, I can do this, which in this business it's 95% mindset. It's no joke, because people say, oh yeah, you gotta hustle, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. No, you just got to put your mind to it, saying like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to make, and I'm going to change lives. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to help other people. This is what's going to happen. And you tell yourself that, and you pretty much just, also what I've done, which helped me a lot too, was at my cubicle, I would have all these sayings by my mentor that really stuck to me. And, if I felt a little bit, if I needed a little before I got home for my marketing, to get into my marketing for the evening, I would just take a look at those sayings and look at those over and over again, and And it would just get me motivated. It would get me to the point that my mindset's saying, "Hey, this is going to happen for me right now. I mean, this is what's going to happen tonight." And it helped me because I know why most people that have jobs in online marketing, they would be just so burnt out. They wouldn't have the energy after working 8-10 hours. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm going to do this online thing. And all of a sudden they're just like, yeah, I'll just do it here. I'll do it there. And da, da, da. That's very sparing, but they're not seeing results. But what I did was, I set time in the evening every day, just mastering, anything from personal development to following up with prospects to getting leads, running a campaign, creating content. And I just got into the consistent flow of things every evening. And I just built a ton of consistency throughout that time. And that's the reason why I kept maintaining those results. So it was so I'm just getting this kind of thing, a little bit of a spike here, but it's just an even keel of results because I took a consistent amount of time daily towards building my business. I wasn't doing anything like this. It's all a straight line right now. And that's basically the reason why I've gotten this consistent amount of success. And also with the more experience I'm getting too, I'm starting to become more of a leader in this industry, and people are looking up to me because a lot of the people that want to get it started in this industry, have that job. They're not going to hit it full time right off the bat. So they're looking up to me as a leader, saying, "Hey, if Justin can do it, I can do it." And that's basically what I've been doing and sharing with people on my success, and giving them that motivation and that mindset also.
Cool. That's really that's a really good answer. I loved what you said there about how you always surround yourself with positive sayings. In your cubicle, and you can obviously do that anywhere. That's a really cool example that you just shared, because one of the things that I've started doing is putting things in my phone. So something will pop up in the morning saying, "You're going to crush it today," and then there'll be something just before I go to bed, a reminder that pops up on my phone saying, "You crushed it today." This is like a recent thing for me, and that's really helped. So I loved what you said about that, in the sense that you always have to, kind of reinvent your mind. And what you were saying about pushing out all the old information, all the old habits, and just completely rebuilding those, and following mentors who have done that, and just literally copy them, and almost like become a shadow, their shadow, and just literally follow exactly what they do. And that's obviously worked really well for you. So that's really cool. And I think a lot of people try and do it on their own too early, before they got results, before they got that credibility, before they can really mentor people. So exactly what you said, you do have to be coachable and surrender to the process entirely. And even though that kind of seems a bit weird, because it's like, well, something you've never done before, or people just don't like doing it. They don't like surrendering their ego, and it's almost like they admit they're weak, but in a sense, they're actually creating new strength from it. So, there's just some really good points, definitely.
Yep. And every influential person I've talked to they always said the same thing, is to just surrender your pride, surrender your ego, act like, when you get into the industry, like you're a newbie if you're getting mentored by somebody. And they said that's the hardest thing for a person to let go of. But as soon as you let that go and take in and absorb everything that you're taught, that's when people have their breakthroughs.
Yeah, that is really huge. That is huge. And one thing I've also noticed about you, Justin, is you're very proactive. You're proactive in terms of, like you said about, going back to the example of putting sayings up at your workplace. A lot of people maybe wouldn't do that. So you're someone who thinks, how can I do something extra? How can I do the extra thing that other people aren't doing in order to get those extra results? That's really shown. And so anyone watching this, a big lesson you can take is, do what Justin's done and do, go a bit extra. Don't just watch trainings. Don't just do the bare minimum. How can you do a little bit extra to make yourself stand out and obviously bring in those extra results? So that's a massive takeaway. So yeah, I mean, the next question obviously is, so obviously a lot of people start in this industry part-time. So, and they have these pressures of, they work 8-10 hours a day. And so a lot of people obviously use that as an excuse. They don't have enough time, or they're tired or whatever. And obviously, I mean, you probably have felt the same way and, have the same challenges as everyone else, really. So how did you look at it from a different perspective? And, you said you scheduled time in the evening to obviously work on your personal development, so what other things did you do differently in terms of, when you say personal development, was there anything in particular, any books you read, or any particular, trainings, anything, specific that I suppose you read that really made a big impact on you and gave you that mindset shift?
It was, I forgot what that one was called, but it's something with Down the Rabbit Hole that really stuck out to me and what I read and listened to. I listened to quite a few audiobooks on basic with mindset shifts from Robert Kiyosaki, obviously, the Millionaire Mentoring, personal development that's inside of there. I've listened to that multiple times. I still listen to that weekly before I go to bed, a few times a week. And then I also, during my workplace, I stick to some audiobooks with a earpiece with Tony Robbins. So I listen to actually a lot of personal development, and that's where I get quite a bit of my content too. And that, that feeds to people, that feeds off of me, and it also brings in like-minded people I want to bring into my community. So it just helps me, brand myself as a leader. It helps me, build up my own self-confidence. And then when I get home, I'm eating dinner, and then all of a sudden I go, oh, I'm out to work. I'm out to work. I'm building my business. So, and that's what I do to help build up consistently. I do this for probably about 4 to 5 hours a night, and then during the weekends, that's when I start doing it more of more than that too. Usually maybe like a 12-14 hour day too, doing that also. So, and that's what I've done to maintain my consistency while working the full-time gig at the job.
Awesome. So anyone who's listening and watching this, that's really what it has to require in the beginning. It's almost like you have to become married to your business for a while, and and then top of that. So it's really does require that commitment. I think a lot of people they think, well, they need to work efficiently, but then they don't also work hard at the same time. So that's always an important thing. So and yeah, I mean, the next point that you raised about content, that is crucial. A lot of people don't put out good content, or they don't put out the right kind of content. So maybe they're putting out content on Facebook, maybe they're doing videos, maybe they're on other social media platforms, and maybe they're putting out some content, but it's could be attracting the wrong people. So what would you recommend? What kind of content would you put out there to really attract the right people and also deter the wrong people? What kind of content have you put out that's kind of achieved both of those things?
I would put like motivational quotes, anything from like you said, from your mentor, anything from, influential people, sharing videos from, influential people like Tony Robbins, even people like Ray Higdon, Eric Warr. Any of those type of people that help bring out any type of positive vibes. People are going to like, people are going to comment, people are going to follow you because you're being positive, you're being motivational, and also, putting out just that extra value that'll just give them that little tease to say, hey, what are you doing? Give them that little bit of curiosity, just like they say, like you give out the cookie, but then you're not throwing the whole cookie jar at them. But if they don't like it, you take away the cookie, they're going to want it even more.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So yeah, that's really, really important. And that's a big mistake other people make is they sometimes give away too much content and they
Mm-hmm.
don't have a way to hook people in. Like you said, you want to give them a taste, but the goal obviously is to get them to contact you, and that's where I'm sure you've had lots of incoming inquiries just by doing that, leaving little breadcrumbs and like a trail of value, a trail of content to where people want more. It's so key. If you're watching this, you're not producing, you're not producing results. It's probably because you're not producing enough content or the right kind of content. So what I would recommend, if you're not friends with Justin already, make sure to friend him on Facebook, and you can see what kind of content he posts, and that will give you a good idea as to what your content should look like and what it should consist of. So awesome job on that front. Now I want to talk just a little bit about the strategy that you do, which from what I understand is mainly just connecting with people on Facebook, on the phone, on Skype, just connecting with people. Nothing too, like I said, nothing too complicated. There's nothing like that. But it is a people-based industry, and if you get good at talking to people, understanding what they're looking for, and then just offering a solution to their problems, then you can do really great things. So, what are some of the key things that you do when you're talking to someone? You're looking to build that connection, but also you're looking to do it in a way where you're helping them and not just pitching. What kind of things do you what one or two things are most important to you when you're thinking about how can I really connect with this person? How can I really build that connection and have them think of me as a friend and not a salesperson?
Best thing is to find that common ground. Find something that you both have something in common with. It could be a hobby. It could be your profession. It could be your favorite sports team. It could be anything. And that just helps make things a little more even keel. That person's a little bit off guard, and they're going to look at you as kind of like a friend and a person that they can trust. I mean, that's basically easy in that industry, because I've had so many people come up to me and say, oh, well, this is what I do. I just get up straight down to business because I'm in it to make money. Da 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 this, da 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 that. I go, well, that's great. So we're all in this to make money, but this is social media. I mean, social media means you're socializing with people. You're going to build that rapport. You're going to build that trust factor even faster when you find that common ground, or you get them to you say something to them that'll make them smile or laugh or whatnot to make them feel more comfortable with you. And I believe that's the biggest thing in this industry, is to make people feel comfortable with you. You do not want to come across as a salesperson. You want to come out to them as their friend. You want to come out there as a person that's going to help them, and you just got to build that relationship right there. That's what it is. It's all about relationship building. It's not about getting a sale quick like that, because a lot of people in this industry, the reason why they fail is that they're so attached to getting the sale right away, and then all of a sudden, they get stopped in their track. They don't get the sale, and all of a sudden they're like,
Yeah.
I didn't get the sale. I'm not making any money. And all of a sudden, their mindset is just blown away, saying, "Oh man, I'm not making any money," and they're drifting away from it. So my advice to people is to don't get attached to the sale. Get attached to getting to know the person and solving their problems and getting that common ground. So you're basically a friend to them and not a salesperson.
Cool. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I've definitely made that mistake in the past where when we start a business, we want to make money. We want to make money because we're, oftentimes getting out of a tough situation whereby we're not making enough money, our job's not paying us enough, etc., etc. And so, yeah, it's very easy to fall into that trap of you're always trying to make that commission. But what's interesting, and maybe you've noticed this as well, is people can sense that. And
Mhm.
even over like Facebook chat, people can pick up their energy. And, I definitely believe in everything's energy. And, it's like when you walk into a room and you can almost feel when there's bad energy. And
Mhm.
people can kind of sense that, even if they're the other side of the world and they're talking to you via the laptop, they can pick up that energy,
Mhm.
and it's the same with good energy as well. If you're, like you said, you come in as a friend and you just want to get to know them and you want them to be comfortable with you, and you talk to them as if you talk in real life, then they sense that as well, and they obviously appreciate that, because no one likes to be sold. People like to buy, obviously. People buy stuff every day, but no one likes to be sold and be pressured and feel like their arms being twisted and they're being like submissed into buying something. So it's always important to think of it from the other person's perspective, and think, well, how would I feel? How would I feel if I was treating me that way? That kind of thing. So you've always have that um, have that in your mind. So yeah, I really loved your answer there. So I think that's pretty much all the questions I had for you. Would there be any other tips you can give to someone who maybe hasn't got any results? They've been working the business for months, maybe years, and they're just trying all kinds of different things. What can you recommend? What are the one or two things they should focus on the most to start changing their results, and start getting to change their outlook on the business before their results can start happening?
Mhm. I got three things right here is to find a mentor, be coachable, and focus on your mindset, because this industry is 95% mindset. It every influential person's going to tell you that. And also, because if you're like me and you work a full-time job, personal development is huge in this industry. So focus on that, get your mind right, and then also be more consistent with putting time into your business, because you can get into that loophole saying like, oh, you're going to put 4 hours here, 1 hour here, and then 6 hours here, then nothing here, then all of a sudden, and you don't see the results because you're not being consistent also. So consistency is big. Finding a mentor to mentor you and to get you to that breakthrough, and then focus on the personal development aspect to get your mindset right in this industry. Those are three key things that I can tell people.
Very cool, very cool. And that is something that I've noticed about you, Justin, is you do show up every single day. And that is what people have to do. We're right around the holiday season here, and, we're here on Boxing Day doing this interview here. Most people would be drinking their eggnog and doing this and doing that. And, I'm not saying don't enjoy your family time, you've got to, but at the same time, you can't let your priorities slip. You have to put your business first. Sometimes it's just the way it is. Want to get those results, and really do get out what you put in. So that's something I think people need to have in mind going into 2017 and beyond. Is there's lots of little pockets of time. So if maybe if you're working a full-time job like Justin is, you get lunch breaks, you get maybe coffee breaks or whatever. What are you doing in those pockets of time where okay, it might be only 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, but is the energy you put into the time. That's what I found. From because I obviously I started this industry on a part-time basis, and it's funny because I actually work a full-time job at the moment. So and that's been the case for me. And what's been good about that is I've learned the value of my time. If I don't do this, then I think I'd get the same done as I get like 5-6 hours a day into my business. So it really is what you do with your time versus the time that you have. So if you're spending your whole day not prospecting, you're not doing personal development, then is having extra time really going to make the difference? Probably not. So so exactly as Justin said, you have to put your focus on building your business, learning new skills, growing your mindset every single day, learning new things that are going to benefit you. And that's the deal. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but when you do that compressed effort, like because we have the same mentor, Justin and I, and he says, you put in 2 to 3 weeks of compressed effort, then you'll start to see results. You know, most people, they don't do the compressed effort, and it takes them years to get results. So, you know, that's definitely something I could add, is do that compressed effort, those compressed actions, and you'll start seeing results quicker. So, Justin, it's really been good to have you on today. I really appreciate your time. So thank you so much for being here today and letting me ask you some questions and sharing some value. I do appreciate it massively. So what I'll do is I will drop your Facebook link in or around this video so people can get in touch with you. Is there anywhere else people can contact you or find you to connect with you and obviously stay in touch with you?
Yeah, you can Skype me at Grabko J, which is just my last name, GRABKO J. And then just reach out to me and just say, hey, so I saw you on the interview with Seb, and I just want to connect with you. And I look at Skype daily, quite a few times a day, to connect with people. So you can go ahead and give me a shout out there also.
Awesome stuff. Well, yeah, thanks once again, Justin, for being here. I'm sure lots of people watching has got some massive value. And if you're watching this video on my blog post or some kind of opt-in page, then be sure to click the button below or fill in the form to get more information about what it is we're doing and how we're helping people to, you know, raise the funds for their marketing budget, or, you know, make money from home part-time. Be sure to reach out to us and ask us what we're doing, and really get us to show you what we can do to help you achieve more success, more abundance in 2017. So thank you ever so much for watching this interview. I hope you got some massive value. If you did, be sure to leave a comment, share this with some of your friends or teammates, and we'll see you on the next blog post. So thanks once again, Justin, and take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Seb, for taking the time to interview me.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.